I think that's all we have. If we don't have a rain, we won't have a harvest. And we need God to help us out, I guess.
That was the level of desperation felt by eastern Iowa farmers during the extreme drought of 1988. Now, why this was on the top of my mind, while it was hot this past weekend, the records around eastern Iowa were set in 1988 for those dates, and it was above 100 in some of those spots. And anybody who lived through it knows the devastation that year's heat and very dry weather brought to Iowa's farm economy. It's the worst drought since the Dust Bowl era in the 1930s. KCRG TV9's Dave Franzman reported on a group who turned to prayer to bring meteorological relief.
A half-inch of rain fell on this corn near Hopkinton this week, but the ground's turning dusty again, and the thirsty, stunted plants need more moisture to break the grip of drought. That's why farmers and even townspeople came out to ask help from a higher authority. 9 Delaware County churches planned this prayer service for rain. Farmers who pulled up a chair say it's tough watching their crops die.
Well, we feel helpless. There's nothing much you can do about it.
That's the main gist of the evening, is to turn here and put our trust in the Father and His will be done.
The strains of familiar hymns opened the service. Spectators turned to each point of the compass, offering a prayer to the four winds. In time of drought, this litany takes on a new meaning.
Wash me, O God, in the urgency of your justice.
Even those who came out to pray for rain say they won't go home disappointed if it doesn't rain. What they say is more important is to gather all the people together like this to show one another that they care. Other ministers comforted the crowd with a lesson from history. In 1936, Delaware County farmers came to grips with another killer drought. Perhaps some then thought God had abandoned them, but those forefathers survived and endured with the prayer, "This drought shall pass." Dave Franzman, TV9, Eyewitness News.
It really was devastating for farmers. The amount of damage by the second driest year on record in Cedar Rapids and many parts of the state. Rainfall was just impossible to come by. 70% almost of Iowa corn was rated in poor or very poor condition in the middle of the summer, and corn yields were down about a third. And you really just can't lose that much when you're a farmer and expecting to have that money at the end of the year. Dry conditions didn't let up in 1989 either.